Last Friday, we had an amazing outcome for one of our clients out of Chandler Court. Now, as an attorney, of course, everything's subject to client confidentiality, so I can't give any names, but I can give some general details. Had this domestic violence case out of the Chandler Court, and domestic violence it's kind of a spectrum of charges, so it's sort of just a designation. There's things like disorderly conduct with domestic violence, assault with domestic violence, criminal damage. We see a lot of domestic violence. So you can do these things, and if you do them to your relative, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, your roommate, your parent, those all fall along the domestic violence. And so you have the typical domestic violence where wife hits husband or a husband slaps wife, whatever. Of course, that's domestic violence. But then we also have other ones where person gets mad at their boyfriend or roommate and punches a hole in the wall or a hole in the door. Domestic violence. It's criminal damage, domestic violence. Even if two people are arguing, say for instance you're in a parking lot outside of a bar and you have a dispute with your significant other and you're both yelling at each other, well, there could be a family walking by that says, hey, I'm calling 911 and I'm reporting them, police show up. Well, you've just used the F word or that, curse words, disorderly conduct, domestic violence. So as you can see, there's so many types of domestic violence, and if you do these things that if you weren't in a relationship or didn't fall, it wouldn't necessarily fall under the law for domestic violence. So you do these things, then boom, voila, domestic violence, which is a complete nightmare to deal with. But we had this case that we were hired by this man out of the Chandler Court. We've gone to court a couple times. I worked out a deal with the prosecutor. Now, we were hired by him, and in this particular case, his wife was also charged with domestic violence for the same instance. So they had a big fight, and they both damaged property of each other, and domestic violence for both of them. So what I did is, I'm in Chandler Court 3 days out of the week, so I know them there. I was able to work out a deal through a lot of work. They got my client's case dismissed and got his wife's case dismissed. So complete dismissal, no conviction on the record, no diversion where you have to do community service hours or 6 months domestic violence course. This is a straight dismissal, don't have to do anything, won't appear on this person's record. It's a tremendous outcome. For domestic violence, look, relationships are difficult, they're hard, people get in arguments. Good people and people in good relationships, sometimes they get into these issues. So if you're convicted of domestic violence, it is a miserable experience because you're going to have the domestic violence conviction on your record. You're probably going to lose your job. You can't have a firearm. You have to go to all these courses. It's a mess. Call me. We'll get it figured out. In most cases, I'm very successful at getting cases dismissed. 602-980-1987.